Okay, I'm going to call the Pearl City Neighborhood Board meeting to order. Welcome everyone for coming out tonight. I want to again thank you because I know everybody's busy with their families, the evenings, trying to rest after a long day at work. But what I'd like to do is have you relax because we got some good things we're going to talk about tonight. And really starting off, we got some nice recognition that we're going to do that is well deserving. So before we get started, I'd like to have everybody stand so we could honor the Pledge of Allegiance. And we've got Cub Scout Pack 75 here with Cub Master Scott Ogasawara. Please go ahead, Scott. Microphone. Thank you. Everybody could be seated. Scott, you got any updates for us?
Okay. Just wanted to update that September was our citizenship month that we're finishing up. We did community service at Pacheco Park where we painted over graffiti and we picked up trash. We also toured the police station, the Pearl City Police Station. So the kids had a great time looking at the jail cell from the correct side of it. And then hopefully they'll never be in it. And then next month will be our outdoors month. So we're going to be going camping and they're going to be learning about the outdoor code, leave no trace, and basic survival skills. But thank you very much.
All right, Scott. Thank you very much. And boys, looks like you got some good fun ahead. Okay, moving on to our time policy for tonight. Our last meeting was 3 hours long, and I'm trying to knock that time down to have it bearable to 2 hours. And my apologies to our officials because they stayed very late the last meeting. The board may take, right now, anyone wishing to speak, and this is for virtual, is asked to open the list of participants and click the raise hand icon by their name. When recognized by the chair, address comments to the chair. Remarks should not exceed 3 minutes. Please cancel the raise hand icon from speaking. Presentations must be kept to 5 minutes. Please silence all your cell phones. The chat box can also be used to ask simple questions. Board members are required to keep their video on active during the meeting. The board may take action on any agenda item as required by the state sunshine law. Specific issues not noted on this agenda cannot be voted on unless added to the agenda. Board actions such as draft resolutions and outgoing letters will be posted for the public Google Drive. Okay, and can we have our roll call?
Good evening, everyone. Starting with Michael Taylor. Thank you. Rodney Wong. Charmaine Duran. Absent. Inoue. Thank you. Dupio.
Here.
Thank you. Weber. Yamamoto is absent. Smith.
Here.
Takeuchi is absent. Velasco. I see him online.
Present. Yeah.
Thank you. And Chair Vary.
Here. Here, thank you. Okay, moving on, our second item on our agenda, certificates of recognition. We have a very special one that we're going to start off with Police Officer Tiade Perry that's here. And I'll be going up to the podium. Well, it's a very special day to have you here with the Pearl City Neighborhood Board because we've read so much in the press, seen it on TV, and we can't thank you enough. We wish we could multiply you times 100, which I know there are plenty of police officers that will back you up many times. But we want to recognize you for the things that you've done. You saved a lady's life the other day. I don't know if I could be on that ledge up 400 feet, and I always think about that too with how hard it is or how easy it is for people to keep their kids in without falling out the windows. But we would like to recognize you from the Pearl City Neighborhood Board. The Pearl City Neighborhood Board number 21 and Neighborhood Commission presents a certificate of recognition Tiade Perry, where hereby present this certificate of recognition of Police Officer Tiade Perry, Police, Pearl City Police Department, for your truly outstanding service for saving women from a woman from taking her own life and preventing her from jumping from a high-rise building, Pearl City. You immediately responded to a woman that was in a mental crisis, standing on a very narrow ledge outside her apartment, over 300 feet from the ground. And because your unique de-escalation communication skills, you were able to calm the woman and gain her trust, allowing you to talk and guide the woman to carefully walk back the window of her 32nd floor apartment. Your Honolulu Police Department training, achieving 3 certifications as Crisis Intervention Training Officer from the Mental Health of America, Certificate of Merit of HPD, and First Responder of the Year from CERCO, exemplifies your professionalism, communication skills, and dedication to the community. With heartfelt thanks, we thank you and your leadership and service. Mahalo nui loa. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, this guy. Jump off buildings, please.
Opportunity, just a few words.
I just wanted to say thank you because I am from the Pearl City community, and I was just doing my job. And I hope that other officers get commended for a job well done as well, not just me. But thank you. Yeah, thank
All right. Looking for those. All right, gives the birds one stone. The next recognition is for our board member, Guy Inouye. Can you please come on up? You do. Guy's being recognized because he's been with the board for over 10 years. And those 10 years, it's been really a privilege to have Guy on our board, consistently making all our meetings, consistently always providing good inputs for Pearl City, but importantly, he's one of the stars of Pearl Pacific Palisades with some of our team. I think half of our board is from Palisades, but trying to keep Palisades pristine, safe place, and a good quality of life to live. But Guy, we'd like to recognize you from Pearl City Neighborhood Board. We hereby present a certificate of recognition to Mr. Guy Inouye for truly outstanding leadership and service to the community while serving as a member of the Pearl City Neighborhood Board number 21 for 10 years. Specifically, you served as treasurer and as a key member of the Pearl City Neighborhood Board, providing very informative details to community issues during our board meetings. Furthermore, you are also a member of the Lions Club, member of the Pearl City Library, member of the Restoration Advisory Board for Pearl Harbor. You were also instrumental in providing accurate and technical input to several board resolutions and outgoing official letters to congressional representatives, state legislators, the city council, and the mayor's office. With heartfelt thanks, Guy. Thanks. We thank you for your 10 years of leadership and service. We look forward to working with you in the future. Mahalo nui loa. Yeah. Without the kiss. Let's move this on. Right, Guy. Guy, where the public?
Well, it's an elected position, so thank you very much for the support for all the years, and really I'm proud to have lived here for over 40 years, so thanks so very much.
Okay, and Board Member Heidi Weber is going to do the next presentation, and I'll turn it over to her.
Okay, our next presentation is for the Pearl City Little League, and we have Stephanie Say here to receive that. Stephanie is the president for the Pearl City Little League, and she does an absolutely amazing job with all of those little kids, ages here to here, and just commend the whole program for the skills that they teach the kids, both, for baseball. We've had some great successes. They went to Pearl City 10U was state champions this year. And a couple years ago, 13U went to nationals. Yeah. So great success, but they do more than just teach baseball. They also teach these kids the importance of community service. And that's why we have her here tonight. So this is a certificate of recognition to the Pearl City Little League for its dedication to volunteer service and commitment to enhancing our community facilities. Each year, Pearl City Little League organizes field prep and cleanup days preceding each of the 4 baseball seasons. Players, coaches, parents, and board members recut and weed the base paths and pitcher's mounds and remove unwanted vegetation, leaf litter, fallen branches, and rubbish on and around the baseball fields, the bleachers, pathways, and comfort stations of Pearl City parks. Each event results in an estimated 300 hours of volunteer service to the community, with the organization consistently surpassing 1,200 hours annually. For their remarkable ongoing contribution to the Pearl City parks and the legacy of stewardship that Pearl City Little League is fostering, the Pearl City Neighborhood Board number 21 extends its heartfelt gratitude. Mahalo nui loa.
Well, I'd like to thank everyone because it's truly a community effort. The league has only been successful because of all the people that have come before me and all of the families who keep their keiki involved in baseball. But like Heidi said, it's more than just baseball that the kids are learning, and we're a 100% volunteer organization. We don't pay our umpires or our coaches. So we truly rely on the good reputation that Pearl City Little League has had all these years. And we look forward to being that in the community going forward. But also thank you to the local businesses in the Pearl City community that continue to donate to us. Representative Greg Takayama and Corey Chun have donated to us multiple times. And it's truly a privilege to be serving this community. It's great to see Pearl City baseball still thriving and being in championships or not. Our kids are wonderful kids and we have great families. So very thankful for that. Thank you for the recognition.
Well, thank you very much. And you'll be seeing some donations from the Pearl City Neighborhood Board. We can't let our officials outdo us. Okay, moving on to our emergency responders. First up is Honolulu Fire Department with their report.
I'm Captain Nick Long from the Wild. I'm not sure the exact last month, but here's the answer from last month. If you suspect an illegal burn, call HPD to respond and extinguish the fire, and call HPD for possible legal enforcement. If there are concerns about homeless individuals or groups in your neighborhood that need help, contact the city and county crisis outreach response and engagement. It's called CORE. This line is for non-emergencies only, and calls will be returned as soon as possible. For the month of August, we had 2 brush fires, 4 nuisance fires, and 9 activated alarms, no fire, 121 medicals, and 6 motor vehicle collisions. This month's fire safety tip is charge into fire safety lithium-ion batteries in your home. So, I mean, I'm sure you've seen e-bikes and all these new battery products. So buy only listed products When buying a product that uses a lithium-ion battery, look for safety cert marks such as UL, ETO, or CSA. So this means that it meets important safety standards. Charge your devices safely. Always use the cords that came with the product to charge and follow the instructions. Buy new chargers from the manufacturer or one that has been approved by the manufacturer. And charge your devices on a hard surface. Don't overcharge your device and unplug it or remove the battery when it's fully charged. Recycle your batteries responsibly. Don't throw batteries in the trash or regular recycling bins because they could start a fire. Recycle your device or battery at a safe battery recycling location. Visit call2recycle.org to find a spot near you. And next month, the HFD is hosting a Fire Prevention Family Day on October 4th at the zoo from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Bring your family to participate in activities and meet our fire and life safety partners. Any questions?
Okay, thank you for your report. And just want to let you know, the people that live in the Waiau area, Hillside Terrace, we're still concerned about the homeless that are living down in the Gulch, in Newtown. There's been 4 fires last month that were started down there, and they're still there. We've got to get those people out of there. So I just want to let you know that we're really concerned about that area. But board members, any questions for HFD? Seeing none, thank you very much. Okay, moving on, HPD. Lieutenant Awasaki, welcome.
Hey, good evening, Pro City Neighborhood Board, Larry. Nice to see everybody live. Not on that screen there, but yeah, let me start with the reported incidents report. This is August 2025 compared to July 2025. Motor vehicle thefts was 4, went up to 7. Burglaries was 15, went down to 7. Thefts were at 31, went down a little to 27. And car break-ins was at 7. Calls for service for this area, July was 15 or 1,520, and August 2025 was 1,483 calls. Safety tip of the month is arrive alive, don't text and drive. And I know last meeting, Lieutenant Hong attended the meeting, but I know there's concerns for speeding, break-ins in Manana, Noelani Ho Laulea, dangerous traffic situation. I know we took care of that one. And we made sure that all the cars are towed in that intersection area, so that the pedestrians have view when they cross the street. And I just brought some. I looked up the stats and I brought it with me on my phone. I took a picture, but these are, instead of going through each speeding, concerns and stuff. So we had. So these are all projects and speeding enforcement and et cetera that we did. So this one had 10 citations issued. September 3rd, 17 speeding citations, 1 driving without license, 1 no seatbelt, 2 insurance. We got 2 driving without license, 14 exceeding speed limit, 2 delinquent. This one here, 34 speeding citations issued September 1st. So these are all from the concerns that you guys brought up. We're also doing this Don't Text and Drive campaign too. So there was a total of 16 mobile device citations issued, and another one, 14 exceeding the speed limit. So from all the concerns from the meetings, we've been tackling them down little at a time. And yeah, that's all the enforcement efforts. And there's more, they're all similar. So yeah.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you for your report. And
Also wanted to add, the speed trailer's down right now. We need a welder. So I think one of the legs are rusted off. So we just got to get that because it's too unsafe to put it, because we like to put it over there by the school. Yeah. But Kelly Makanani, the acting sergeant, said it's too dangerous at the time. So we're trying to get that taken care of so we can put it back out there. It really helps. That's why the sign. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much. I know there's a full court press going on from the governor down to try to prevent more deaths on our highways. The other thing too is just trying to get people to slow down, watch for pedestrians. And it seems like on the news every single night, somebody gets wiped out. And then I just can't believe somebody would just leave somebody in the road and just take off. That's hard to believe. But anyway, I really think part of the way ahead is because HPD can't do it all. The community has got to step up. And what I'm looking at is the Pearl City Neighborhood Board getting more involved with sign waving, but most importantly, working with coordinated neighbors. What I want is I'll be asking the director of maintenance of facilities maintenance today if there's a way we can get our own signs so we don't have to be on your nickel all the time. We'd rather you be doing the patrols. Let us go on the street because they're our neighbors. They all know us, and we'll put the signs up. But anyway, board members, I know you got questions. Rodney?
Yeah, Mr. Lieutenant, good to see you in the flesh, man.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you folks had a chance to address the concerns for the folks on Po'opuni.
Popuni,
Yeah, they were here last meeting and
what was the complaint for Popuni?
a lot of speeding going on over
Speeding?
there. Yeah. I guess a lot of people come right off the freeway, make that left over there, and they're blazing down to get to Cam Highway, and then vice versa, they go up. So we asked Lieutenant Kong if he could throw out a speed marker out there.
Okay. I'm
Yeah.
sure he did, but I'll add it to our list here. And we'll have the officers go out there and address that. Po'opuni Street.
Yeah,
P-O-O-P-U-N-I,
Po'opuni Street,
correct?
P-U-U?
Or P-U-U, Pu'uponi. Okay, got it. It's off of Po'o.
It's, as you come off the freeway, Ho'omalu,
Okay.
and then it's the first right off, or sorry, first left off of there is Pu'uponi and goes down to Kamehameha Highway.
Okay, we'll definitely address that. Yeah.
Hey, board members, any other questions for HPD? Okay, and Lieutenant, I'll be sending you an email because I had some residents ask me to provide some other locations, and I'll just send that in an email to you.
Yeah, okay. And
Okay.
also, based on your fatalities, the department right now, we're doing a Take 30 initiative. I'm sure other board meetings and stuff, the officer's been announcing, but Take 30 is every officer takes 30 minutes during their work time, their 13-hour shift to address, to reduce the number of fatalities. So we're trying our best. E-bikes is a big concern too. So e-bike enforcement, we're doing that as well.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from the public for HPD? Seeing none? Okay, well, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay. Moving on, public testimony. And Lieutenant, if you could just stand by just in case something does come up for this next small set. Does anybody have anything they want to bring up to Pearl City Neighborhood Board? Okay, I guess we answered all that last meeting on Pony Street. That was the whole neighborhood that showed up.
Sorry, Larry, one more thing. The homeless, the white owl, we'll take care of that. Because our community policing team, again, Sergeant Makanani, they'll hike, it's a long hike in, so they'll hike in and check it out. I know the golf course, the driving range, they drone it to make sure, because if the homeless are back there and people hit the balls there, that's where we're talking about, right? Behind, yeah. So we'll take care of that as well.
Yeah, it's right after they've got their comfort station. It's next to the park for Newtown,
Like between.
right
the
down below that. Because they used to,
community center and the.
yeah, they used to steal electricity out of the restroom.
Yeah, we'll take care of that. Yeah.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, who do we have online? Tara Sutton? Tara Sutton?
Hello.
Tara?
Yes,
Yes.
my
Is this a
camera
question
isn't
for
working.
HPD?
No, it is not.
Is
It's
it-
community comment.
Okay, community, okay, great, thank you. Go ahead.
Thank you. My name is Tara Sutton. I'm the Director of Community Engagement for the Red Hill Registry. And so I just wanted to let the public know that the Red Hill Registry has launched and we are open for enrollment. So We are co-created with the community and it completely independent from any of the other agencies out there. And we are working towards documenting and tracking health impacts from the water crisis and connecting community members with resources that they might need. Our website is redhillregistry.org, and you can just go there and click join now and be connected to services as well.
Okay, well, thank you. I know there were many people that were impacted by the fuel that contaminated water in the Pearl Harbor area. I myself tasted some of that at the Navy Exchange Food Court many times, and I didn't know it was that. I thought it was just the root beer was flat. But thank you very much there, Tara. Any
Yes.
other comments?
The last thing I want to say is that it's really important for a health registry that everybody enroll. If nobody enrolls and gives their story and their data, then there's no way for us to actually come to the conclusions and understand the health impacts of the fuel exposure. So even if you don't feel like you have any health effects at this time, or if you have a whole bunch at this time, or back in 2021, 2022, it's okay. You can enroll regardless of what you feel like your health impact was, because we need all of the data in order to truly reflect the entire community. So I just encourage anyone, if you have any concerns, please go to our website, redhillregistry.org.
All right, Tara, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, moving on to presentations. Our pesticide use Hawaii presentation will be deferred to next month. But the next one up is the Waipahu Trunk Sewer System Update. Mr. Patrick Watson will be presenting. Welcome.
All right. Get this set. All right. Aloha, Chair Vare, members of the board, members of the community, elected officials and their representatives, and those watching on Olelo. My name is Patrick Watson. I'm the Public Information Manager with Honua Consulting. And mahalo for allowing us to present a brief update on our overview of the new and exciting Pearl City Waipahu Trunk Sewer System. So for the sake of time, I'm just going to introduce our project manager from Schnabel Engineering, Ms. Phaedra Campbell, and she will go over some of the details of the presentation. And we understand that we need to remain fairly brief, and your neighborhood commission assistant was very clear about staying in the 5-minute limit. So without further ado, Ms. Phaedra.
Hey, welcome.
We actually have a presentation that could be shared. Eric Cruz is on the line, and he's going to see if he can share his screen.
Eric, are you online there to share your presentation?
Yes, give me a sec.
Okay, Eric, thank you.
I also handed out presentations to folks here on the board. There's also a flyer up on the desk here, so please grab a flyer as well as you take on your way out. I also want to introduce a couple other folks that are here. I provided them on some of the presentation as well, but we have Lisa Arakawa. She's the project manager for this project for city and county E&B department. We have Justin Neaty, who's the branch lead for the wastewater and engineering and construction branch. And we also have Roger Babcock, who is the director.
And welcome, director.
Thank you so much for attending. Oh, thank you for the lights. I want to be able to see a little bit better. Okay, so the next slide. So this presentation is on the Pearl City Waipahu Trunk Sewer, and the goal of this project is to construct a new wastewater utility pipeline that's capable of accommodating current and future flows, basically for 2050 for residential, businesses, and industrial demands. This project encompasses two sides, basically the Pearl City side and the Waipahu, which if you go to the next slide, Eric, the next slide is actually an introduction. So we already introduced the folks, but if there are any further questions, you guys can reach out to us through those email and phone numbers. In terms of the location, so the project follows the existing dual force main, which is between Lehua Avenue, starting at the Pearl City Pump Station, which is across the street from Lehua Elementary. And then it travels along the Pearl Harbor bike path just below the Kamehameha Schools property, and then goes around the middle lock of Pearl Harbor, and then crosses into Waipahu along the Waipio Point Access Road, which is just below the Waipahu Middle School, or sorry, Waipahu High School, and then through Ted Makalena Golf Course, and then all the way to Waipahu Depot Street, which is near an HFD maintenance facility. So that's in terms of location, so to just get your bearings of where this project is located. Just some stats for the project. So the new project is basically going to replace the existing dual force main. And this one is about 12,000 feet long, so quite long. It's about, I can't see the inches, but they're 69 inches in diameter, so big enough to walk through. And not that you'd want to walk through after it's in service, but it's about 35 to 55 feet below the ground surface. It's constructed with a corrosion resistant pipe, as you can see on the top right, which is typically called a fiberglass pipe to reduce the risk of corrosion and to increase the durability over a long time. The current construction schedule is 2028, 2029, all the way to 2032. So we do have a bit of time. We're currently in the design phase, and then it goes to procurement and then construction. I know this is early on in terms of presenting this project, but it's best to get in front of folks now to solicit feedback from the community and to address concerns. So that's why we're here today. So next slide. Oh, next slide, Eric. There we go. The work hours that we're anticipating is within the DOH work hour limits, which is Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., and then Saturdays, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. Currently, night work is not anticipated. If the contractor decides that night work will be required, that's when a noise permit and noise variance would need to be applied for. The type of work that we're anticipating is clearing and grubbing, basically drills for installing shafts and concrete trucks. You can see on the right, there's basically a shaft that gets installed by using drills and concrete. Flatbed trucks for pipe delivery, soil hauling, ground improvement for poor ground conditions, and then the biggest thing that we're using to install this pipe is using microtunneling, which is a trenchless construction, which limits the amount of surface work as much as possible. And limiting the amount of surface work is really great for reducing noise, reducing dust, and reducing environmental impacts. So that's one of the things that you really only see a lot of the surface work at the specific manhole or launch shaft locations of that machine. And then any site restoration, especially since we're along the Pearl Harbor bike path. Okay, next slide. So we've identified a handful of construction impact locations. One of them is Lehua Avenue. We have been talking with Lehua Elementary School about some of these construction impacts and some of the requirements that they may have for this project. Of course, the Pearl Harbor bike path is going to be impacted. I believe that's a Kamehameha Schools roadway, which is a dirt path that leads to the bike path in Pearl City, right behind Leeward Community College, and then Waipio Point Access Road, which is in Waipahu, and then Ted Makalena Golf Course, also in Waipahu, and then Waipahu Depot Street. So those are the areas that we believe has the largest construction impacts due to this project. And the next slide. Just some of the things that we've identified as construction traffic, mostly for soil hauling and drop off of materials. You can see in the green line is Lehua Avenue. And so we anticipate trucks going back and forth on Lehua Avenue and then up to Cam Highway and then going on H1. And then also you'll see the blue is along the Pearl Harbor bike path in Pearl City. And then the blue line going up to basically Farrington Highway is along the Kamehameha Schools roadway as well, so right near Leeward. So, and then in red is the Waipahu side, which would affect Waipahu Depot Road. Some of the noise has also been identified, and like I was mentioning earlier, noise is anticipated particularly at the shafts locations. Underground, when the tunneling's happening, the noise, you wouldn't hear it or see it underground, but at the shafts, that's where you would anticipate the noise to be. They're the closest locations that we see at basically the existing Pearl City pump station is where some of the construction would start. And that's about 260 feet from a residential neighborhood that's just Malka of that. And then about 900 plus feet to Lahua Elementary. And that is some discussions that we're having with them in terms of the noise. We do have a noise study that is being completed as well. Also for manhole locations, that would be where you would also anticipate noise. And one of the locations that we've identified is at the manhole at Kamehameha School's roadway at the intersection of the Pearl Harbor bike path is about 100 feet from one of the nearby facilities, and then also about 375 feet from one of the schools that are sort of there as well. Some noise mitigation measures that we'll do during construction is construction monitoring with seismographs and having specific standards that the contractor has to comply with. Additionally, sound walls and potential barriers. Requiring quieter equipment is something that is also utilized. And then, of course, the noise permit and of noise variance if need be. Okay, next slide. And I was going to hand it back over to Patrick to talk about some of the business and community outreach that we've been doing, which includes why we're here today.
All right, so in terms of business and community outreach, we've already begun having discussions with some of these entities listed on the slide. And basically, we're here to solicit your folks' feedback as well to determine, because of your connection with the community, if there are other people that we may need to identify and target to reach out to so that they're aware of this project. And so we can work together to mitigate any construction impacts before they take place. I mean, that's always the goal, right? To let people know what's coming, to give them an opportunity to speak in terms of like things like traffic, noise, things of that nature. So this is just a list of some of the people that we've spoken to. And next slide, please. And this is some examples of things that have occurred in the past doing this type of work. So I was a part of Hawaiian Dredging's rail station building. And in the process of doing that, we developed relationships with the businesses and residents in the area. And one of the lasting legacy type events that continue to this day is the Waipahu Spooky Story Trolley Tour. So we're always looking for ways to give back to the community. The picture above is me with Councilmember Toba doing the walk through Waipahu to win back Waipahu, do community cleanups. So we are also interested in these types of activities here in Pearl City as well as the project unfolds. So just some examples. And I left some flyers on the table for the upcoming Spooky Story Trolley Tour, October 4th. Little PSA right there. Okay, next slide. So if you are interested in reaching out to us, these are our contact emails. Patrick, me on top, Phaedra in the middle, and Lisa on the bottom there. And we plan to attend the Pearl City and Waipahu Neighborhood Board meetings regularly. And as I mentioned earlier, we want to hear from you. So if you have any suggestions or additional questions or concerns, you can contact us. Chair Beret also has my email. So please don't be shy. They call me the tip of the spear in Waipahu. So I earn all these white hairs. So anyway, thank you very much for your time. And I will leave it up to the chair's discretion to see if we have any time for question and answer. Mahalo.
Thank you very much. Very well put together and definitely needed as we continue to improve infrastructure. I know Director Babcock, you've really been pushing, trying to fix our infrastructure because a lot of it's aged quite a bit. So we're looking forward to this. Board members, any questions?
Chair.
Wait, Heidi?
So when you were talking about construction traffic, I believe you said that it was going to be using the bike path to haul materials out. So the bike path is going to have to be closed during those times.
We were working with DOH to determine like what the alternative can be and whether that be an alternative path that people can take just off of the drive path or the haul path, that is an option, as well as just relocating that bike, that path for just a short period of time for just when that hauling route. Okay. Yeah.
And then my other question was on the business and community. You have Lehua Elementary on there because it's going across Lehua Ave and it's going to be blocking that traffic, or because of the noise that's going to be from the drilling and whatnot in that area?
It's a little bit of both. One is the noise, to discuss if like what kind of protocol it is for noise during school hours. One of the things they did note is that school is one of the few schools that does have AC because of the current noise that's existing. The noise there is actually quite high that's existing because of the location it's at. But the other one is just truck traffic. Previous projects like on KK Tunnel, there's the elementary school that restricted hours of hauling between pickup and drop off. And that's something that we've asked them is that a recommendation or a requirement from the school to restrict those hours as well?
Okay.
Because it's right along it, and I'm sure you've seen the line back up for pickup and drop off there.
And so then the peninsula, the Pearl City Peninsula down there, have you done outreach with the military that are out there?
We haven't done community outreach to that specific community. Constant communication with the Navy because we're basically some of the properties that the alignment is on Navy property. So that is part of the further community outreach.
Because there's substantial traffic
Yes, there is.
through that. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for the questions.
Rodney?
Yeah, hi, Phaedra. So on the drop shaft, how big is this thing? Is it 40 feet like the one in Alawai before?
So there still is some hydraulic assessment going on in terms of the diameter of the shaft. Just initially, it's not going to be as big as 40 foot in diameter. Just our
Alawai
initial
one,
calculations.
How
But
deep is it going to go?
that location is on the upside, so
Yeah.
it actually is approximately the 35 to 55 feet below the ground surface. That is basically the shallow end.
Okay.
Because this is a new gravity line. So basically, that would be the shallower end, so around the 30.
So you guys going under the old line,
Yes.
under the old line? Or how deep is the old line?
The old line is between 5 and 10 feet below the ground surface, and the old line is a force main.
Okay. And then as far as the manholes are concerned, are these considered drop shafts also?
They're not really considered drop shafts because drop shafts have a different protocol, but they're
Right.
more manholes for future access and potential future connections.
Okay.
So you could consider it somewhat of a
Yeah.
drop shaft.
And what is going to be the size on that one?
Those tend to be much smaller in
Okay.
terms of access. So with typical manhole covers that you would see,
Right.
like a 2 to 3 foot diameter manhole.
So the main drop shaft, you guys going to have that monitored around the clock?
Oh, yes, it's actually within the pump station. It's
Oh,
within
okay.
the confines.
It's within the
of
confines of the pump station?
So yes,
Okay.
there would be continuous monitoring, especially
Good,
for the
okay.
controlled system maintenance group.
Right.
and
So what kind of timeline you guys looking at this project from start to finish? What are we looking at?
So the full construction, are you asking about the full construction
Yeah,
schedule?
all the way through.
So we're anticipating at this point, based on the alignment and the construction materials, about 40 months of
40
construction.
Okay, so we're looking about 4 years, 3 years,
But we'll-
3 years something. Okay, that's good. And then, so all this affluent will end up in Honolulu.
Yes, so the whole Honolulu system, there was an EIS that was a programmatic EIS that was
Mhm.
completed in 2020 that has the whole Honolulu system, which starts at Aloha Stadium and then travels all the way west, going out along the the East Lock of Pearl Harbor, the West Lock, and then Middle Lock crosses the West Lock and then goes out to Honolulu
Okay.
Treatment Center.
That's good to understand because, a lot of us, we don't know where the stuff goes. We still think Sand Island taking everything. So it's good to, know. And then I was wondering, because I work in Campbell and I see all that construction going on. So it's like, what the heck are they doing? But then again, we got all these housing developments coming up. So the thing got to go somewhere. So anyway,
Yeah.
appreciate it.
Something to note too is this service is about a third of the island. So it's an incredibly large system and a very, very important system.
Yeah. So who does it service? What part of the island? Central, west, where's the boundaries?
Well, let's see, Roger may be better to identify the whole system, but it's basically Waimalu, from Aloha Stadium all the way out to,
Foster Village is basically the far end. Yeah. And everything from Foster Village out to Kapolei, and up through, of course, here, all up, including Mililani. All goes to Honolulu. Yeah.
Okay, board members,
Chair.
any other questions?
Chair.
Go ahead, Dan.
So I'll try to be brief. When the bike path is blocked at a specific location, so it'd be kind of typically for how long?
That's a good question. It varies depending on what manhole you're working on. But it could be from 4 months to a 6-month period. But it really just depends on what manhole we're actually working on at that time. But when the tunneling is going on, you can bike over the tunneling.
Yeah, well, you could make some little detours.
Yeah, there is possibility for detours. There is, actually, the path is kind of wide. And so there is some areas where you can basically share the path. And we have been doing field investigations currently, and it has been working out okay.
In terms of the sewer capacity, to what extent are we limited to, for example, number of new houses in Pearl City and Waipahu?
I think I might have to.
And just so you know, kind of, are we about to say no more building in this area?
No, not really. This project is one of several projects, so there's kind of a daisy chain of pipes that go around Pearl Harbor from Foster Village all the way out to Eva Beach. And this will increase capacity that's necessary for all the existing infrastructure. There are some capacity limitations now, but there is room for a lot of growth. So a lot of that had to do with the transit-oriented development, all the studies that were done on that over the past 15, 20 years. So there's a lot of capacity being built in, including for the new Aloha Stadium development will be able to be handled with these new systems. But again, this is only one leg. So there's multiple other legs that also have to be done in order for all that capacity to be realized. So thanks.
Hey, Rodney, one more.
Construction of the pipe. What's the lifespan on this thing?
For the corrosion-resistant pipe, which we typically call FRP or fiberglass pipe, it does have a 100-year design life. They're actually, some of them are extending even past 100 years to 150 years or so. So there is a long design life in terms of the system. And one of the things that you'll see in the flyer is that the flows for transit development and for the increase in just the capacity is at 60 million gallons a day, which is quite a bit. So that is one of the reasons why the pipe is what we're anticipating at 69 inches in diameter.
Okay, great. Any other board members virtual?
Chair.
Oh, Guy, I'm sorry, Guy, I didn't see you down there.
Yeah. In terms of the Ted Makalena Golf Course area, I've noticed that there's pretty extensive drilling on a couple of the holes in the back nine. And so partial of the back nine fairways are cordoned off with a yellow tape like that. You mentioned Ted Makalena Golf Course. So this means that when you folks are going full on in that area, because it looks like right now it's investigative, so to say, is it going to shut down the back nine or?
That's a good question. So it affects holes 14, 15, and 16. And we did have some drilling there. It lasted about a little over a month. And they also have some other construction that's going on there because of the fuel lines that are basically along the bike path. But that is the discussion that we're having with them is like how, when can we shut down a hole versus when can we basically reduce from a par 4 to a par 3. I think hole 15 is a par 4. And so we're actually seeing if we've placed one of the manholes to basically reduce it during construction to become a par 3. The goal is to not shut any of the holes down during construction. There may be some limitations on some holes for short periods of time, but the goal is to not restrict that.
Only reason why I bring that up is because we all know that LOI golf course has gone to pot, so to say. It is so brown, it's not funny. It kind of reminds me of Kapalua. So everybody's moving this side. So Westlock, like today we golf there like that. Parking lot filled up all the way to the back. Macalena always fills up. So can you imagine like you shutting down some of the holes? It's going to impact like that. And that I golf with them at least 48 times a month. So it's kind of a concern. Now, with that said, as you dig, et cetera, like that. So similar to what the railhead found out in a bad way, like when there's going down Dillingham, there's other challenges and so forth like that. So how are you folks going to anticipate some of the challenges and just schedule padded somewhat to accommodate these challenges?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think one is the construction. So this is a design bid build project. So basically having the contractor submit construction schedules and also mitigate risks. And that's one of the things we're doing now is trying to mitigate some of those risks. And so it's a challenge for every project. But basically trying to address those things early is the approach.
So I think what would be really important is that, as you folks anticipate, look at this, we didn't anticipate this like that, is, prepare the public as best as possible to mitigate any kind of maybe roadblocks or traffic, or, forbid the golfers to go back, et cetera, et cetera. I think to be upfront and be extremely informative, when folks point out to the community, I think that'd be really good.
Yes.
Versus what, we're finding out in, like this in Red Hill.
Okay, great.
Thank you, guys.
All right. I think we had a lot of questions there. We're 20 minutes into your presentation,
Sorry.
but important. We got one more. Who? Miss Rebello? Well, the sewer rates we got a question here on chat. Are the sewer rates going to go up because of this? Sewer rates are going up anyway.
It is a project that's funded, of course, by sewer fees. So every project essentially, and all operating and maintenance costs are the reason for sewer rates going up. So.
Yep. Okay. Let's see. Any questions from the audience? None? Okay. Well, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We're going to move on to our last presentation. We've got Paula Bender here for the Walk Bike Drive presentation. And welcome, Paula. And hopefully we get your audio to work with your presentation.
It's on your NCO's computer, so it should be fine. My name is Paula Bender, and I am the Walk Bike Drive Coordinator for the Hawaii Bicycling League. And the Walk Bike Drive is funded by the state, and it is a program that is supposed to cultivate courtesy and kindness on our roads between cyclists, pedestrians, and vehicles, all those vehicles. And then we find out that there's more to that, such as e-bikes and scooters and all kinds of things. So if you can't pedal it, you should not be in a bike lane. Okay. Sounds like side effects. Whether on foot, Hawaii Bicycling League's Walk Bike Drive presentation encourages road users to drive with aloha. The Walk Bike Drive program is funded by an HDOT grant to highlight the importance of pedestrian and bicycle safety on Hawaii's roads. Whether we walk, bike, or drive, safety is everyone's responsibility. The Vulnerable Road Users Law is part of a broader effort to enhance safety on Hawaii's roadways by addressing the risks faced by those traveling outside of motorized vehicles, such as pedestrians and cyclists. So far in 2025, the entire state has more than doubled its traffic fatalities over 2024. The average number of traffic deaths from 2014 through 2024 included 28 pedestrians, nearly 28 motorcycles and mopeds, 4 bicycles, and nearly 44 motor vehicles. Whether on foot, on a bike, or in a vehicle, commuters are a traveling ohana. We recognize license plates, stickers, and company logos. We merge with a wave, or better yet, a shaka. And when there is a crash, we learn just how close we are to each other. Here are a few things to keep in mind when sharing the road with cyclists. Respect the green bike boxes that gives bicyclists a head start on a narrow section to reach the bike lane. Remember, when in a crash, the cyclist will always be more vulnerable no matter who was right legally. When passing, allow for 3 feet between your vehicle and a cyclist, even if it means waiting a few seconds to do it safely. Share when you see sharrows, which are placed where cyclists cannot safely drive on the shoulder of the road. What are cyclists telling you? Understand the road signals used by cyclists. Left arm pointed down or right arm behind back means the cyclist is stopping. Left arm outstretched means the cyclist needs to switch to the left lane or to make a left turn. Left arm pointed up or right arm outstretched indicates the cyclist is making a right turn. At a recent NOAA Hurricane Awareness meeting, HBL Executive Director Travis Council provided another reason bicycles make sense. During and following an emergency weather event, a human-powered bicycle is most reliable, especially if power outages persist, the internet is down, and roads are blocked to motor vehicles. Everyone has the right to be safe on Hawaii's roads. This precept in Hawaiian law originated with King Kamehameha I in 1797. The law was added to the state constitution in 1978. Please, kokua, make the right decisions. Driving with aloha means everyone has a great day. Please send your comments or questions to Walk Bike Drive Coordinator Paula Bender at paula@hbl.org. Mahalo.
Thank you. Thank you ahead of time. So we want to emphasize vulnerable users are those people who are not encased in a vehicle. And just coming out here from Hawaii Kai tonight, there were people who just were weaving in and out of traffic. And I'm telling you, I tried every message. Every time I go to a neighborhood board, I always tell people to drive with their zen. Let them go. If anything happens right in front of you, they're vulnerable, whether it's, they're legally correct or not. Any questions?
Well, thank you, Paula. A very important subject. Too many fatalities on bicycles, motorcycles, and e-bikes. This education is definitely needed. The only problem is how you get the homeless to understand the biking laws. I see people almost getting killed every day at the corner of Waimano Home Road and Kamehameha Highway. Just will not follow the rules.
No, I know. Yeah.
So we've got to figure out what we're going to do with that. Board members, any questions?
Sure.
Go ahead, Guy.
You know, what would be really interesting is that, say, for example, if bicycle is going down a path like that, and there's a van, and the bicycle is in front of the van. If I'm on the left side of the van, and if I'm coming up, there's a lot of times I can't tell that if there's a bicycle there. And I've always thought, in the past that it would be helpful if that bicycles, if they are going to be on the streets like that, if they had some kind of like a fiberglass pole with a.
Oh, you're never going to get that. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Guy.
But you
I
know what I'm
know.
saying, right?
Yes.
Yes. I mean, you know how, I mean, for God's sake, people can't see cars and they hit the car. I mean, you know, a bicycle, come on.
I know, and when I ride, I try to ride, connecting with the drivers around me.
Right.
When we're at the intersections, at the lights, I try to make eye contact with those who are closest to me. And that's the thing, you can't really tell bicyclists to do things like that unless they come to HBL for some kind of education. So everybody out there who isn't involved with HBL kind of is on their own, make up the rules the way they feel like it should be.
Yeah,
And that's unfortunate.
but I mean, there is a law with helmets, right?
Yeah.
So maybe there should be a law with the pole with the flag up.
Okay.
Just saying.
Actually going to take your input back to HBL. So thank you, Mr. Noy.
All right, Paula.
Thank
All
you.
right, board members, any other questions? Don't see any virtual community. Any questions? All right, Paula, thank you very much, and I'll be in touch with you. Take care. Okay, moving on to board business. Our vice chair was unable to make the board meeting tonight, so I'm going to defer our committee approval of committee members. Also going to defer the resolution for legislative priorities. And I'm going to take up number C. It's a Pearl City Neighborhood Board letter, and it is requesting the U.S. National Park Service to recognize our local shipyard workers by adding special exhibit for the heroic actions coming to the rescue of hundreds of burning and trapped sailors and Marines on sunken Navy warships during the attack of Pearl Harbor on December 7, 1941. And those that can remember or being on the board here, 2 years ago, we passed a resolution asking for this. There hasn't been any action since then, but the Navy has done a call out to all the neighborhood boards asking for input by 4 October 25. And what I'd like to do is forward this letter and a copy of the resolution to Superintendent Jacqueline Ashwell. Any discussion on this? Okay, seeing none. If there are no objections, I'll consider it approved. Send the letter out. Any objections? Hearing none, seeing none. Thank you. Okay, moving on to our resolution. Guy Noy, can you please read the resolution that we have?
Be it further resolved that the permitted interaction group shall be present a written report of its findings and recommendations to a board at a fully noticed meeting, and that the board may not act upon the report until a subsequent duly noticed board meeting, and that upon submission of the report to the board, the group will be dissolved, and be it further resolved that the board authorizes the chair, if requested, to set a joint meeting with other neighborhood boards to further deliberate on the findings of the permitted interaction group, and be it finally resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to chairpersons of all neighborhood boards and members of the commission. First paragraph. Establishing a permitted interaction group to consider matters related to emergency preparedness, whereas due to geographic isolation, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration considers Honolulu, Hawaii to be an exceptionally unique place on the planet, and whereas historically, natural events have catastrophic impacts and cause extensive damage throughout our state.
Is there any more to that?
That was the back half. Permitted interaction group shall present a written report of its findings and recommendations to the board at a fully noticed meeting, and that the board may not act upon the report until a subsequent duly noticed board meeting, and that submission of the report to the board, the group will be dissolved, and be it further resolved that the board authorizes the chair, if requested, to set a joint meeting with other neighborhood boards to further deliberate on the findings of the permitted interaction group. And be it finally resolved that copies of this resolution be forwarded to the chair of all neighborhood boards and board members of the neighborhood commission.
Okay, thank you, Guy. So what this boils down to is we're planning a joint meeting of neighborhood boards, as many as 10, that'll include West Side and also part of Central Oahu. And the objective is to really tackle the shortfalls that we have in case we get hit by a Category 2 to 5 hurricane. We are not prepared on this island. We don't have enough shelters, but there are some mitigation things that we could still do. We want to work with the state and the city to help them too, because we want to hear what are those shortfalls, so we can go ahead and get that into the legislative process to get funding to fix it. But the only other thing is we need to put the burden on our communities. We've got to harden our homes. You've got to stand your ground. So wildfires are number one. Hurricanes are number two. Number three are tsunamis. And the last thing nobody ever wants to talk about, if we ever get attacked by an adversary. And it is, we can have another Pearl Harbor again. So right now we're tackling the wildfires and the hurricanes. Those are primary. And I've already started in Pearl City here with my homeowners association. We've already have an emergency action plan together. We are going to harden our homeowners association, 114 families. We're going to go from an association to a village. We're going to secure that village. As soon as they say evacuate, we're not evacuating because we're going to have in place all our buildings set up with hurricane clips that harden that roof to make sure it doesn't go for the heavy winds. The straps will be down for our foundations. We'll have hurricane shutters that you roll down. We also have the plastic composite material that's easy to bolt on to your window. We're going to do our whole housing area that way. And then our pool area for the association will be our headquarters. We already purchased Starlink. So when all the cell phones and everything go out, we will have Starlink communications for the families, microwave ovens, food, 40-foot container with 114 tents for every family, and to include K rations for everybody. But we will take care of each other because as we live in Hawaii, we are always there. You saw what happened in Lahaina. People came forward to help everybody out. We're going to do our area and especially taking care of our senior citizens. We need every townhome in Pearl City. Nobody has an emergency action plan. I want to see that in place. And I hope to be able to start a collaborative effort with all the townhomes, but especially all our single family homes. We can do it. We just need to prepare. And the other thing is for legislators, if you get us the tax break for our homeowners that do that, and also some type of rebate on some of this stuff. So just something to think about. So board members, I'm going to put this up for vote. The meeting will be on the 22nd October at one of the Kapolei elementary schools. We're actually going to use Makakilo neighborhood board's time. Olelo will be videotaping it, and we will have key speakers come up from all the emergency management so we can gather information and also make a commitment with our neighborhood boards that we're going to do a full court press, educate the community. So board members, up for vote. Any other discussion for this resolution? And it's required because HRS 92, we're going to have 4 members. It'll be myself, our vice chair, Guy Noy, and also Tony Velasco will be the ones that will attendance with all the other neighborhood boards the same way. So, yeah, do I have a motion to approve?
Motion.
You have a second? Rodney? Okay.
Starting with Taylor. Inouye. Dupio. Weber. Smith. Velasco.
Aye.
And Chair Burr.
Yes.
Okay, passes.
Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, moving to committee report. Michael, what do you got an update for the planned dog park for Neil Blaisdell Park?
Yeah, sorry. Aloha Chair, aloha board members. Online joining us, I think we have Mr. Martin and one of his students to provide a quick update on the project. They're currently in the planning phases and just have a couple questions, some clarifying things, and yeah, just wanted to share some updates with the project that Chair Ray, you went and visited and talked story with the students about. So Mr. Martin, I'll let you take over.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kyle Martin. I'm the architectural design teacher at Pearl City High School. And as Mr. Taylor said, we are working on a design concept from Mr. Larry Verre for a dog park at Neil Blaisdell Park. I did bring my overall project manager, Chloe Bullatow, one of my students. She's overseeing 4 different groups that are coming up with 4 different designs. So I'll turn it over to her and she can just give updates on what we just accomplished and what we're working on right now in the classroom.
Thank you, Kyle.
Hi, I'm Chloe, a senior in the architecture program at Pearl City High School. My classmates just completed 2 assignments, a site survey where one group member from each group went to Neil Blaisdell Park to take pictures and scope out the scenery, and a slideshow that presents items that they researched for both big and small dogs. Our steps moving forward are generating blueprint drawings of the top and elevation view and 3D model rendering. I have 2 questions. That's okay. What type of dog shows will be hosted at the dog park?
The ones that I have observed, they've been all sizes of dogs, but as far as specifics on what type of awards they give for different type of groups and any type of special tricks and things, I don't know. I'll have to get back to you on that.
Okay. And do the bleachers for the dog park have to go on the small or big dog side or both?
Yeah, I think right now, the requirement is we have to have a small side and large dog. And I think we need to stay with pretty much what has been approved in the past for dog parks. I can't remember what the weight is, but I know there's a specific weight. I think I might have gave that to you guys. I'm trying to remember what the input that I gave you, but I can look into that for you. But you guys can do that too online.
Okay, thank you. Do you have any questions for me and Mr. Martin?
Okay, let me ask the board. Board, any questions? Go ahead, Rodney.
Oh, yeah, this is not a question, but just I commend you folks for doing this. I love it. I would like to see folks possibly in person at our meetings because you folks are the future. And I hope that other high schools pick this up and start doing projects like this around the state because you guys are an asset. You guys are the future. So keep on doing what you're doing and don't only let it be dog parks. Spread out and do everything, buildings. If a high school wants to do a new structure up there, you guys are at the forefront and you guys are on the property. So you guys know what you need. So great. And I look to see what designs you come up with.
Thank you, Rodney. And for the public, just to be aware of, the Pearl City Neighborhood Board approved a new committee that board member Michael Taylor is leading. It's called the Youth Awareness Committee. So we're going to see more involvement from Pearl City High School students in our meetings and to help us with our decision making that we do. So Kyle, and I want to thank both of you, and please give our thanks from the Pearl City Neighborhood Board to the whole class. We'll be anxiously waiting. We got one more question. Dan, go ahead.
Hey, a project to design the swimming pool for Pearl City High School.
There you go. Our visionary man. You know what? We're going to make it happen.
Thank you.
Okay.
And we are hoping to have a visual, presentation share out at the next board meeting. So we are definitely
great.
working towards that.
All right, Kyle. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to City and County Honolulu. We've got Director Gina Bono. Jean, welcome.
Good evening. Vice Chair Duran, virtually Neighborhood Board. Gino Bono, Director, Chief Engineer of the Department of Facility Maintenance. The mayor highlights from his newsletter, the city honors Oahu's Purple Heart recipients during a ceremony at Honolulu Hale. Park breaks ground on new guideways and rail stations across the third segment of the rail project from Kalihi to Kaka'ako. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development's Region 6 Administrator visits Honolulu Hale to discuss housing and homelessness with Hawaii mayors. New members of the Honolulu Youth Commission are sworn in during a ceremony at Honolulu Hale. And Oahu's junior lifeguards return from the state championship event on Maui with a historic victory. This September 2025 edition of the Mayor's Newsletter can be found online at www.honolulu.gov/mayor/newsletter. Once per decade city charter review, the Honolulu Charter Commission is conducting its once a decade review of the city charter, which serves as Honolulu's constitution. Community members are invited to submit proposals by November 7, 2025. The commission will also be holding community meetings in October. Dates, times, and locations are available on the Charter Commission website. We encourage everyone to participate in this important process. Please visit the commission's website at www.honolulucitycouncil.org/charter-commission. From last meeting, Resident Hardy raised concerns about vehicles running red lights along Moanaloa and Ho'omalu Street. HPD responded on various days between September 5 and 10. District 3 officers conducted checks of the area of the Moanaloa Road and Ho'omalu Street and did not observe any violations. Their presence may have helped to deter violations. As staffing permits, officers will continue to monitor the area and take appropriate enforcement action. Resident Rosario and Hardy requested that raised speed bumps, speed radar signs, or a form of lane narrowing be installed on Pu'umoni Street to reduce the speeding vehicles. DTS responded. They conducted a study recently and does not recommend the installation of speed humps on Pu'umoni Street based on the grade of the roadway and their speed survey data. However, BTS will look into the feasibility of narrowing the travelway and inform the board of their findings by December 25 meeting. Yes, so they will follow up before the end of the calendar year. President Hardy requested to limit the use of commercial trucks on Pu'umoni Street due to the area having elderly residents and incidents of downed power lines caused by commercial trucks. DTS responded, there are no laws which prohibit commercial vehicles from using Pu'umoni Street. However, under section 291-34 of the Hawaii Revised Statutes, vehicles and their load cannot exceed 14 feet in height on a public road, street, and highway. Lastly, Member Dupio, my apologies if I said that incorrectly, raised concerns of an overgrowth of Ha'ole and a tall dead tree above the power lines at the intersection of Lanikeha Place, Homomai Drive. DFN responded, the bezier tree above the power lines at Lanikeha Place, Homomai Drive was reported to HECO since is in the vicinity of power lines is required to be performed by certified arborists. HECO indicated that they received similar requests and will be scheduling an inspection. The overgrowth of Ko'aha'ole is being investigated by the DFM's crew to determine the responsible owner based on property ownership. So it appears that those are not on city property. Therefore, DFM cannot maintain those streets. So I open it up to any questions that the board may have.
All right, thank you for the updates. Board members, anything new? Okay, go ahead, Guy.
What's up, G?
Hey, how's it?
I don't know if it was anything, but thanks for cleaning up the debris on Kumamai. I'll give you the credit because you're the last person I talked to.
It's the staff.
Oh yeah, nah, they did a good job. They got ice cream and soda when I saw them on Monday.
When there's something to blame, then I will be here to take the blame.
I'll be sure to make sure that happens.
I will be here to take all blame.
And then I got one question. So last month, you gave me the email. Was it? Maybe I wrote it down wrong. Is it DFM Roads at Honolulu?
.gov.
.gov.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just making sure. Maybe that's why it didn't go through.
DFM roads at
.gov.
Honolulu.gov.
Okay, appreciate it.
Member Heidi.
So I have a question for you about the Pearl City District Park.
Okay.
Okay, it shares, well, it doesn't share. It owns the hillside from the baseball field down to Pearl City Highlands Elementary School. And that hillside is not being maintained. I've talked to the principal at the school, and he said that the property line ends at the bottom of the hill and that the park is responsible for that hillside. They're not doing anything. The California grass or the invasive grasses are as tall as I am. Somebody comes along and kind of clears the cement pathway that leads up the hill to make it a little bit wider, but it's now, because it's so dry, all that grass is just falling over. As soon as the rain starts again, it's gonna, come back up. I've put in a request. I don't know what else to do, but I would really love if you could help me
I
follow through to get parks.
correspond with Director Thielen
Thank
and
you.
Pu'u, and very good in responding back to me.
Okay.
There was one earlier this morning regarding another park about the condition of the grass. And so they are addressing that concern. So I'm certainly will bring this up with him as well.
Thank you. It's an ongoing issue. The school hillside that goes up to the residences that are on Ho'oma'ima'i Street, and they keep that hill meticulously maintained. They have sprinklers. I see the custodians going up there and doing a lot of work, but they can't do the other hillside. And it is a point of frustration, and it's fire hazard, frankly,
Yes.
at this point. Thank
I'll
you.
do my best to share that information with DPR.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. Board members, any other questions? Okay, Dan?
Yeah, we have our favorite. And we understand the traffic specialist will be here next time.
yeah.
But, basically, in preparation, we'd like to know how much it would, whether you do the reprogramming yourselves or whether you contract it out, and how much money would take, because frankly, I sorry to talk too much, but that it's a game of chicken every morning out there, where cars try to avoid accidents. And I think if there is a serious accident there, city's going to be liable, because there's plenty of notice about the problem. So anyway, I'm sorry to talk too much, but
No worries.
the problem is not going away unless we
I did
Here's the
correspond
signals.
with Kelly Akisaki this morning. She is looking forward to the conversation next month. Absolutely.
Okay, go ahead there. Robert.
How's it going?
I'm doing
Good.
well. Good job.
So in that email that we talked about, that the Komomai intersection, just a short one, is she mentioned something, a line is about there, that it sounded like this may have to do with the Department of Permit and Planning. So is it because that intersection may need new construction to achieve what we're trying to get? Or?
I'm not familiar, Member Wong, what
Yeah.
you're referring.
It was an email between a couple of us that didn't see, but it came up, so it was kind of troubling. It was kind of like it seemed like it was passing a buck again, So it's kind of disturbing. So we'll leave it to that when she gets here. But on the other hand, I'm reading over here, heart breaks ground on new guideways and rail stations across the third segment. So another point of concern was the skyline in the Pearl Highlands area, where the homeless situation is getting a little bit more congested over there. I guess you must have heard about the blue bus. So the question I have, and we went the last time with Casey Abe, Okay, is that part of your property? No, we don't own that property. So, and I think he said the last time he owns it, but it's run by Hart. Or is it OHA or Hawaiian Homes?
At that station.
At that station, yeah. And there's also a gated community over there now, right at the end, before you get on the freeway. And it's been there for a while. It's like, gee, I wonder if it's, if the old man still owns it, you know what I mean? Richard Lee, if he still got his mitts in that one, because that was on the property that he used to have over there. So, I mean, it would be wonderful if we could have a Hart representative over here to, address his concerns, because this is within our district and it needs to be addressed.
Or if you could set up a time and date, we could have a walkthrough and Rodney will be there to point and click.
Yeah, I would recommend to send the request.
That's right.
Absolutely.
Pass it every morning, my friend.
Okay, Rodney. Any other questions, board? Seeing none virtually. And Director Abano, I owe you an email because I just sent email back to Kelly Akasaki on for next month. We formed some couple questions, and actually Councilmember Okimoto's got that one. I want to make sure you see what we sent her, but also we have another laundry list of items that Dan, since he's the head of our transportation committee, that we're putting together. We're going to try to get these out on the table. And I know some of them are challenging, but I'll be honest with you. I know that the engineers are smart. I know they've got their computers, they've got models that they build and all that. Put more trust in my board members who travel that route to that intersection of Komamai Drive and Waimano Home Road. And when Dan Smith says we need to change the timing of that light, I believe Dan. And the other thing is I believe in is always trial. I mean, how hard is it to change the sequence? And then when you see all these people screaming, then you know you're screwed up. But I got my gut feeling you wouldn't have people screaming because that's Dan's community. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up.
I can empathize with the board as a former practicing engineer. We can be impractical at times. However, it is through inclined feedback that persistence eventually engineers will listen. So that's the advice that I would give from my decades experience as a consulting engineer.
And what we appreciate is a director that stands up for us. Thank you.
You're well, very
Okay, any other questions? Okay, seeing none. Thank you. Oh, we got one more question? Okay, make it quick.
So, I remember since Kelly is going to come next month, right? I made a comment about if you have a left turn only coming from Waimano Home Road, then you should have a right turn only going from Komamai onto Waimano Home Road. Okay. Now she made a rather blatant comment like, okay, then you can't make right turn on red. I'm thinking to myself that at that same moment I had said, wait, if you look down on Waimano Home Road, right turn onto Wanalua Road, you can from the inner lane make the right turn. So you're saying that if you only got 2 lanes and you have a right turn only and a left turn only, then you cannot make a right turn on red. And I'm thinking to myself, what's the difference between that and having 2 lanes that can go either way? You see what I'm saying, right? And I hate to say it, but I'll say it on television. I know it's not common, but that was pretty blatant and not appropriate for her to react in that manner. Okay? So you as a practicing fire engineer, just do the math and you can call me anytime to further discuss that matter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called dialogue, and as really the critical exercise in getting to consensus, a common goal, and just talking story, remove any reaction to emotion, and just be that calming presence to get to an effective resolution. So that is my suggestion.
Director, thank you very much. Okay, moving on. Councilmember Okimoto, welcome. It's nice to see you in person. It's nice to see you in person. Your staff's been backing you up great.
They are
But,
wonderful.
But we
It's
really
good
like
to
having you
person.
here. Thank you.
I had a lot going on. My daughter graduated from high school. I took her to college. So there's a lot that happened over the last several months. I'm now one child less at home, but my youngest one makes up for like 5 children, so it's okay. Aloha, good evening, Chair Murray, members of the board, members of the community, board online and community members here as well as online. Val Aquino Okimoto, council member for District 8. I can move this way. Thank you. And again, it's a pleasure to be here in person. You have in front of you my written. I do have some follow-ups. I wanted to just quickly give some announcements. First of all, I wasn't here. I'm not sure if it was announced in the last hearing, in the last meeting, but I wanted to congratulate and thank Chair Ray. He was reappointed to our Neighborhood Board Commission. And you can tell just earlier, I'm so proud of whenever Larry comes to the holiday because I get to boast on our personally chair who has so much passion. So thank you and congratulations. And we're honored to have you back on the commission representing our community as well as advocating for the safety of our entire island.
Am I supposed to take the oath again?
I think you are actually. I'm not sure. Let me go, because you were not there in person that day, correct?
I was there for the last one. I missed the first.
The first, okay. Let me follow up on that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. We are in the hearings this week for this month, and we do have our full council coming up on October 1st. So next week is going to be full council, which is a little bit different. Usually there's a week gap in between, but there was a change in some of the scheduling. And I know that my state legislator friends will be talking more on this, but just to give you a quick heads up, on Thursday on the 25th at 6:30, the time change, right? PM at Pearl Ridge Elementary School, there is going to be a joint town hall. The legislators from Pearl City area. The State House is actually responsible for this upcoming town hall, but just wanted to mark it on your calendars, and I'll let the state legislators kind of expound on that more. And I think
What was the date? What was the date for
this Thursday, the 25th at 6:30 at Pearl Ridge Elementary School. And the topic is going to be on kupuna safety and kupuna dealing with scams. I think they have a really good agenda on. I can't take any credit, but we are invited and we'll be there to support and participate. So some legislative updates. And my reports, usually when you get them at the end of the month, they start at the beginning. So some of the changes that have been made, bills 49 and 50, 49 2025 and 50 2025 were introduced by both myself and Council Chair Waters, and they were able to go through the process and pass. So Bill 49 2025, and you see it on your report, it raises the real property tax homeowners exemption for taxpayers 65 and older from $160,000 to $180,000 effective July 2027. And Bill 50 raises homeowners exemption base from $120,000 to $140,000 for owners' principal home, also effective July 1st, 2027. And this is also, to address as our home values have gone up, many of us are still faced with the increase in our real property tax. So that's to address that. As in coordination with this, there is another bill that is moving, introduced by Council Floor Leader, Councilmember Esther Kia Aina, and that's Bill 34, 2024. And this is dealing with the residential A properties as well as the TVUs. And there's a little table in your newsletter that kind of talks about the different tiers. So she is having this, and we passed it through our budget committee today, and it'll go to third reading. But just to give you a heads up of what the tiers will be, and if you have any questions, it increased it from $1 million, which residential A homes were previously, and all of us are impacted by that now that a lot of our homes are at the $1 million mark. So this raises the threshold. There's two other tiers. Tier 3 being the highest for any home over $3.5 million. And they have different tax rates. I believe for tier 3, it was $11 versus the $4. But I will get you those numbers. If I'm wrong, I stand corrected on that. A couple of other notable measures that we had, and I'm really grateful. And I want to thank, I think she's not online, but Vice Chair Duran was really helpful in communicating with my office as well as Trevor Ray, we passed Resolution 25-205, which renames the Pearl City District Park Pool to the Ken Suenaga Pearl City District Park Pool in recognition of Coach Suenaga's 59 years of mentorship and the Army service and community contributions. So we're so grateful. I'm so proud and look forward to hearing when we can do an actual blessing of the park. So that was really a fun day. And I'm so thankful for, again, for you guys in the community who advocated and supported that measure. That being said, I think I mentioned, yeah, we are in tomorrow and Thursday, we have committee hearings. And if you have any questions, you'll see, let's see. We have the committee assignments on the front of the page, but if you go to the website, our council website, you can see the agendas for each hearing. We did have a little bit of change from the normal scheduling. But I wanted to just quickly use the rest of my time to follow up on some constituent concerns. Some of it may have been in here, but a lot of it were sent to my office over the last month. So the office received a concern, my office received a concern on speeding and illegally parked cars on Waimano Home Road. HPD let us know that these vehicles were not obscuring the view for pedestrians to cross the street. So officers also posted on Komamai Drive and issued citations to violators who were speeding. Once the speed trailer is repaired, it will be returned to Komamai Drive. And I believe this next item is what the board was just talking with Director Albano about, requesting a protected left turn phase at the intersection of Komamai Drive and Waimano Home Road. So you can, if you have further questions, please feel free to let my office know, but I know DTS will be here next month. DTS completed an investigation at the intersection of Komamai Drive and Waimano Home Road that included a left turn phase warrant study during the morning peak period and a review of the area's traffic collision history. The intersection of Komamai Drive and Waimano Home Road did not meet the minimum criteria to warrant gaps for left turning vehicles in the current traffic signal operations to accommodate left turn volumes. And that's from DTS and their study. I was contacted by the principal of Highlands Intermediate School, and he had some concerns that he actually brought to our attention, and we had put in the request probably about a year ago. So this was regarding traffic calming measures right in front of the school. So DTS also completed their investigation, and they will work with the State Department of Transportation to implement speed humps in the future. Also under the Pearl City Complete Streets project, building sidewalks and bulb outs along Ho'olaulea Street between Waimano Home Road and Ho'opai Street will also be done in the near future. And any other updates we will provide you with right in front of the school. Concerns related about ongoing poor maintenance of the grass at Wai'au District Park. We have contacted Parks and are waiting for a response. We'll follow up if we do not hear back from them. A couple more measures. Difficulties for handy van pickup was another constituent concern. So my office hasn't received a response yet from DTS, but we will follow up about this gentleman who lives at Cavella Loca Street, who is experiencing difficulties in having handy van pickup. Again, we will follow up with DTS if we don't hear back from them. Finally, Pearl City Elementary School asked that Pacheco Park to be cleared so the children could play. I think I heard this might have been an issue also earlier. HPD from 9:10 to 9:19 had officers conducting checks daily between 10 p.m. and 4 a.m., as well as at 6:30 a.m., and several residentially challenged individuals were cited for park closure violations and criminal trespass in the second degree. So I just want to thank you. Without the feedback from the constituents and the community, we won't know about these things. I want to thank you for all that you do, and I'm thankful for those who have reached out to my office. And if we have any other concerns or follow-ups, we'll provide updates as we receive them. I think that might be all of my notes. I will gladly
All right,
take some
Councilman
questions.
Rokimoto, thank you so much for all those updates, and especially the renaming of the park. Last month, we had to have at least 8 or 10 people show up to ask the board for their vote to do that. So that's an important one. But all these other things, the traffic we'll be discussing it when Kelly Akasaki attends the next meeting. I hope we get resolution on some of these. I would think the other thing too, if there was any way that we could add on to that complete streets, since they're going to be doing sidewalks, we still need that sidewalk to go up from Comamai up to Pearl City High School. If there was a way we can amend that somehow, if we could find some funds to add to that, Ralph and Peter to pay Paul, but we can't take away from Guys Crosswalk that they're going to take. Hopefully they'll get rid of pretty soon.
So you said Comamai and
Yeah,
Waimano
from
again?
Comamai all the way up to Pearl City, the
Okay.
people have to walk in the street.
Sidewalk.
And Heidi's the one that's been really pushing, brought that to our attention.
I met Heidi actually up there years ago. So sidewalks as well as the crosswalk, or you're focusing on the sidewalks right now?
So there's actually I call it a footpath. It's not a sidewalk. There is a raised curb, but it's just no, it's dirt on the inside of it, but it is separated from the road. But vehicles drive over top of it and park over on that footpath side, but it doesn't block you being able to walk there. So the police don't want to enforce the vehicles that are parked inside that. But I just really feel like if we could get the lane striping on Waimano Home Road all the way up to the high school, or get that little berm or whatever it's called painted white so that the cars can actually see it, so that we know that there's, pedestrians, and there's places where that's missing and it is just like dirt along the side of the road where kids are walking, because the bus only comes up to the Komomai Drive.
Komamai,
And
correct.
that's where the kids get off the bus and they're crossing both ways at that intersection and then walking up to the high school.
Remember, Heidi, were you able to send any of these photos? I know that's actually where we met back when you had those concerns. Are you able to send updated pictures of what it looks like now? Have you done that recently? Forgive me for.
I can send it to you?
Yes, please
Yes,
send them to me with what you just said. That way we can again send in a follow-up request.
Thank you.
Thank you for advocating for this. I understand exactly what you're talking about, and thank you for caring about the safety, especially for the KQ who are walking to and from school.
Thank you. I
Thank
appreciate
you.
it.
Right. Board members, any other questions? Go ahead, Guy.
Hello, Miss.
Hello.
So I see a lot of Mr. Santos's videos on Instagram. No worry, I don't follow him. I follow you, okay? But, yeah, I enjoy his videos because one was the bus video he did. I didn't realize you guys could vote on raising the bus prices. Is that still in discussion, or has that been
Oh,
dropped?
no, great question. So who are you talking about?
Tyler dos
Councilmember
Santos.
Dos
Yeah.
Santos. Correct. Yeah, so actually today in our budget committee, we discussed Bill 54, which is discussing the bus rates increasing. So the rate commission met, and their proposal to us, they had some proposed rates and they had explanations why. We have discussed it back and forth. What most people may not realize, and I don't think I even paid attention, because I actually am not able to, I don't take the public transportation. I have to drive from Mililani all the way to town. But our public transportation system is greatly subsidized, and that's how it's designed, that it will never be something that the revenue that we take in will never cover the cost. But the rate, it was proper to increase it. And so we have had discussions on it. And I had proposed a CD2 today that would help our kupuna and make sure that we're not targeting them. There are slight increases. The annual bus pass, I think, was going to go up, I think, about $10 a month, correct? And we did actually, I had deferred it because Councilmember Dos Santos Sam had a late amendment that the department didn't have time to actually read. I have met with the department and we were okay with the proposed amendments that I had presented, but I wanted to be mindful of what Councilmember Dos Santos Tam's amendments were. He's looking at raising a threshold of the percentage for AMI from 30% AMI to 50% AMI for those who qualify for the lower income bus passes. But I do want to say that I want to be really balanced in everything. I want to make sure that when we pass these things, that we're mindful of those who are on limited income, for our most vulnerable passengers. Many of them are kupuna, but not just them. And also find the balance to make sure that we can sustain this program, to be mindful in the revenue that is generated and to balance that out as much as possible. So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't love being in front of the camera as much as others. And so maybe that's why you don't see me doing videos. But if you have any questions, my officer and I will be happy to respond. We just voted, well, we just discussed that today. We approved my CD2, which is working with the department, but then I tabled it to have both of the council members as well as the Department of Transportation Services to look at Councilmember Dos Santos Tam's amendment. Great question, though. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions?
Yeah, Chair.
Go ahead.
So I guess when you have your name here as part of the budget like that, so I guess what portion of BWS do you oversee, or do you oversee the
Okay,
entire?
great question. So we did have some movement around in the council. And so previous to this, I was the chair of the Public Safety Committee. And that is a passion of mine, as well as I know of yours, and a really strong focus of our community members. Serve as the Budget Committee Chair. So that changed, I want to say a couple of months ago. Everything's a blur. So I currently am the chair of the Budget Committee, and I'm the vice chair of, I think now it's a new committee's name, Infrastructure, Technology, and Transportation and Technology. I still sit on Public Safety, and I sit on Zoning and Planning. I'm a voting member of those, but as council members, we have to be aware of all measures, whether we're sitting on the committee or not.
The only reason why I bring that up is that, you mentioned, a couple of topics, the Kupuna situation, right? And then limited budget, et cetera, like that. But, as, let's see, Chief Engineer Ernie Lau had mentioned that, sewage fees and then water well supply fees can go up astronomically in the next so many years like that. So, yeah, we're talking about bus passes like that, $10 a month. But then the sewage fees, like, I forget what it was. Like, was it 160% or something? So it was pretty substantial. So I compare that with $10 per month. I'm thinking, where's the
It
balance?
puts it in perspective, and I understand. And I know Director Babcock had been here. I've been here with him I want to say last year, where he had to come and he went to multiple neighborhood board meetings to explain the rate increase. And as a council, actually, we didn't all agree. I honestly did my best to look at the big picture when we voted. We just passed the city budget a couple of months ago. That is a tough discussion, and I hope that that's why I think we're looking at ways, how else can we, since the sewer rates, based on what Director Babcock was saying and the administration, that's inevitable. That has to be increased. I'm not sure if you were on the board, I can't remember, but I know Roger was here multiple times, if not, I've seen him explained the reason why. We tried our best to figure out how we could mitigate that. I felt that the measure that we voted on, it was, again, it wasn't unanimous, but it was in the long run going to be better for the homeowners, seeing that we are faced with the increases. So on the back end now, that's where bills 49 and 50 came up. Council Chair Waters and I are really trying to find ways to see what we can do to help our residents, given the situations that we're in.
The reason why I bring that up is because, cost of transportation, as important as it is, I think seriously, if BWS would shut off the water to your house because you can't pay.
No, that's a fair point.
Can't pay electricity versus, well, I can't pay for the bus ride. I don't know which is worse, can't flush.
And I do appreciate, and I think that sometimes I agree, and that's why I've been trying to find that balance. Because at the end of the day, there are many who don't ride the public transportation, but we're all paying into it. So I can understand. And that's why even though the slight rate increases may seem unattractive up front, I try to find, okay, how can we do this? It is minimal when you look at the big picture. You're right. And with our public transportation, it will forever be subsidized, but I'm trying to find, based on what the rate commission has approved, and trying to see how we can sustain this program as best as possible. That's why I've continued the discussion, but that's a fair point. I'm a common sense person too, and I understand exactly what you're saying. Common sense says this would make more sense than using the funds otherwise.
Okay, we're going to have to get moving on.
Thank you.
Okay, anybody questions from the public? None? Council member, thank you so much for showing up in person, and I will be communicating with you directly.
Look forward to it. And thank you for working with my team. They are behind me
Yeah,
and
your
always,
staff's been very responsive.
I
Thank-
appreciate them. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Okay. All right, moving up, Mr. Jeff Hickman, representing Governor Green.
Hello, Chair and Board and community. I want just to mention 3 priorities, and a lot of them were mentioned today because it's at all levels of government. The governor signed an executive order calling for more responsibility by Hawaii's drivers. Traffic is definitely an issue, and we heard it from the Bicycle League as well as crosswalks and stuff in our community. Second thing is that he launched a webpage where the public can leave comments and concerns about the upcoming 2029 land leases that houses military training areas. Government officials will also provide information and resources concerning military training to promote transparency. It's a place you can go to get information. I think you can leave comments and get the latest, and it's just a resource. There's a lot of places you can go, but the governor wanted to make sure that, because he got visited by a lot of Army officials, and he wants to make clear that he works for the people, not the federal government. So he has that website up. And the last thing is, and I've said it at the last couple meetings, is preparedness. Hurricane, tsunami, wildfire. We had Hurricane Kiko come close, and it kind of let a lot of people know they still weren't ready, even though it's hurricane season. And then I don't know if you guys were tracking, but we had 2 possible tsunamis since the tsunami watch. And the earthquakes were in the same place, Kamchatka, Russia. So don't go there for vacation. But they had the exact same location, a little bit smaller on the Richter scale, which means it could have been something that affects Hawaii. So whenever those happen, we get the alerts before they do a warning and a watch. But just be prepared for that. Tsunamis up here in Pearl City, not too bad if you're up from Kamehameha Highway. You're out of the zones, and the zones have been an issue, which is great because it's raising awareness. Am I in the zone or am I not? So please, for your community and your households, take care of that. Those are all the announcements I had. If there's any questions, I can take it back.
Well, thank you, Mr. Hickman. I want to give you a personal invite. This meeting that we have on the 22nd October in Kapolei to emergency disaster preparedness. I would really like you to represent the governor at that meeting, and then I'll do a call out to HIEMA and also the city's emergency management with a rep from each one of these departments. We'll have Red Cross, we'll have the military, all of them participate. But I really want to tackle this subject. Okay, board members, any questions? Let's move it along.
Chair, was HIEMA invited to that?
Not yet.
Not yet.
I'm going to go through you for that.
Okay, yeah. If you can, send me that invite and I will get somebody there. That's one that they'd want to attend. They're doing a lot of outreach.
Good night, Rodney.
How you doing, Jeff?
Good.
Good. Drive to work every day, and a newly installed warning siren was just put up in the Makakilo area on the Makai side of the freeway. And it's right up there. You can see that rascal. So I was wondering, I thought to myself, what a beautiful place or a tower to put a camera over there where you could overlook and see, any fires and natural disasters that will come up. So I was just asking again, is the state considering putting any cameras on these things?
Okay, I can ask. I know that Hawaii Emergency Management Agency manages all of those, and they always ask the senators and representatives for money to maintain it. So putting a camera on there is definitely an additional cost. I actually had somebody from the public make a UIPA request, like a FOIA request, asking who is responsible for all the fire cameras. And I just got that today. I don't know the answer, so it looks like I can answer that. And possibly take this and ask them that as well. So I'll find that out and can report to the next meeting. Good
Okay,
question.
thank you. Board members, any other questions? Anything virtual? Audience? Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Casey Abbey, what do you got? You can make it quick.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, good evening, Chair Ray, members of Pro Senior and Board, KCR from State Duty Highways. Working on maintenance crew, we are trying to keep up with the graffiti artists, hoping this will slow them down on showcasing their artwork on public property. Working with our maintenance crew, we managed to patch the potholes on Guayaba Road and Ike Street near Leeward Community College. But during my field inspection last week, I noticed some new potholes on Kamehameha Highway eastbound approaching Acacia Road intersection. I'll work with our maintenance crew on addressing these new potholes. Also, during my August 19th field inspection, I noticed the U-turn and double left turn sign on Kamehameha Highway eastbound at Acacia Road intersection needed to be replaced. Unfortunately, during my September 19th field inspection, I noticed a maintenance crew installed the wrong sign, so I'll be working with them to install the correct sign. At the November of last year's neighborhood board meeting, there was a question about installing noise cameras near the 8th Street tunnel, and the requester wanted to know the status since he talked to our director. As mentioned previously, the 2023 legislature passed Senate Bill 588 relating to excessive noise that required the state highways to implement a pilot program to use noise detection cameras to address excessive traffic noise in urban areas with a population more than 500,000 people. There were a total of 22 locations identified for the pilot program, but with the $2.5 million budget has allowed us to pilot only the top 10 locations shown on this list. I'm happy to report that effective Monday, September 15, as mentioned on the 6 o'clock news with Joe Moore, HDOT Hawaii Highways installed our first of 10 noise cameras on the 8th Street Freeway at Halico Interchange in Kaneohe. On Tuesday, another noise camera was installed on Alamore Boulevard near Kalia Road. The remaining 8 locations will be installed by January. The purpose of this pilot program is to gather data on the types of levels of noise generated by vehicles. No tickets will be issued throughout this 2-year pilot program. Current laws prohibit the modification of mufflers and exhaust pipes on motor vehicles, motorcycles, and mopeds that will increase the volume of noise emitted. HDOT will prepare monthly reports on the number of events detected that exceeds 90 decibels at each location, as well as the type of noise observed. These reports will be used to help with future legislation on vehicle noise and HPD enforcement. Location selected for this installation was based on complaints recorded by HPD. Additional information and locations on the other 8 sites and 12 alternative sites can be found on our HDOT website at the link shown on this slide. I will also put this link in the chat box. This slide shows the remaining 12 alternative locations. Unfortunately, there are no locations within the Pearl City neighborhood area that was identified in the 22 locations. The closest location was the Kamehameha Highway at Pearl County Shopping Center that was ranked 16th on our list. But hopefully in the future, when the pilot program is completed and the program becomes permanent, we will be able to expand the program to other areas on Oahu. And finally, at a previous town hall meeting hosted by your elected officials, our director mentioned that we are working with the city on the demo project for opening up the closed H2R2 ramp for buses only, where the buses can drop off passengers at the Highland Transit Station, then make a U-turn onto Farrington Highway going westbound and avoid getting stuck in the congested Acacia Road intersection. The city prepared the design plans while the state is currently doing the construction on the new demo project. This slide shows the H2 northbound on-ramp from Farrington Highway, the closed H2R2 ramp that will be open, and the Pearl Highlands Transit Station where the buses will be dropping off bus riders. The city worked with their consulting, Jacob Engineering, to develop the plans for the bus-only U-turn ramp demo project. Initially, the project was supposed to install a electronic vehicle warning gate that would allow only buses to use the bus-only U-turn ramp demonstration. But from my understanding, the city and state decided not to install the gate. So, although there may be signs and payment markings saying buses only, there is nothing that will prevent the public from utilizing the U-turn. During my quick field inspection today, the contractor was installing the new pavement striping. The project's supposed to have installed new guardrail, but the contractor's equipment is down. So we'll be installing temporary barriers in the interim so we can open the new U-turn demo project and an existing H2R2 ramp next week, Wednesday, October 1st. But we are concerned about vehicles utilizing the new U-turn and trying to cross the 3 lanes of Kamehameha Highway westbound so they can access the Sam Club's entrance. This may back up traffic on Kamehameha Highway eastbound from the transit center. We'd like to thank the neighborhood board and the public for their patience as we try to address the very congested Acacia Road intersection. I would also like to thank Chair Barea and Board Member Smith with representing the board at our two-day traffic safety summit scheduled for October 8th and 9th. This concludes my report. I can take any questions at this time.
Thank you, Casey, for the quick update on a lot of those improvements. The other thing is that concerns me is those noise detection systems. We've been complaining about noise in Pearl City by the Kahamanu overpass for the last 3 to 5 years. It's continuous disruptions to our community in Waiau. We definitely need to have a system there to monitor. If you can influence that next board meeting, I'm going to put a reso up for the board to state the requirement that we need it there. So, but we'll see you next in a week and a half here with Dan and I at the summit. I'm sure there'll be some really good discussions there. Board members, any questions? Okay, do it. Wait, okay. All right. Casey, no questions right now. Thank you much. And I appreciate your dedication and also communication directly with the board members. You're doing a great job.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. Okay, moving on to state legislature, Senator Glenn Wakai, any representative here? Seeing none, but we do have Senator Brandon Elefante. And sir, thank you for your patience as always.
Yes, great evening, Chair Verre, members of the Pearl City Neighborhood Board. I just do have a few updates. First off is Board Member Weber talked about whole KK Street. So after last month's meeting, I did go drive by and they have removed the item. So if you ever have any issues, please feel free to reach out to us. So thank you for those involved to remove those illegal dumping items in that area. Thank you to the Pearl City High School students for making your presentation here tonight. And then lastly is, as Councilmember Okimoto mentioned about the area town hall, just to elaborate further, a few more details is that it's Sharice Richards, and she's from the Secret Service. And it is at 6:30 this Thursday on September 25th to 8 p.m. And it is about scams on Kapuna. So whether you're a Kapuna or not, I think folks, if you're interested, you should still come because there are a lot of scammers out there. It would be good to hear. And that particular town hall is being led by Representative Kong. With that, that concludes my report and happy to take any questions. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. We're looking forward to presentation. And actually, that was first heard tonight. I didn't have that on my calendar. And as far as scammers, I got hit twice, my Amazon account in 1 week. And it's hectic to change the credit cards and everything. So that I'm anxious to hear what they've got to say. Board members, any questions? Okay, hearing none. All right.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Okay, moving forward to Senator Henry Aquino. We already got the report. Nate, are you online? All right, Nate.
Hello, can you hear me?
Gotcha, Nate.
Okay. Aloha, Chair, Verre, board members, attendees, representatives, and the this evening. Chair, I did email my report, and with that being said, I stand by the thank you.
All right, thank you. I sent that report out to all the board members, so they have it. So Nate, thank you. Give our regards there to Senator Aquino. Next we have up is there somebody else? Okay, that's it. Okay. And welcome, Representative Greg Takayama. And again, thank you for your patience too.
Of course. Hi, folks. I don't have much to report. You heard about the town hall meeting Thursday night. Just want to talk about one thing, the wildfire detection cameras that have been asked about. Haima doesn't have them. Hawaiian Electric, as part of their wildfire mitigation plan, is installing 78 cameras around the state of Hawaii. They have a contract with a company called Alert West. And actually, if you Google Alert West Hawaii, you can see the cameras and they're live. They're monitored by artificial intelligence 24/7. And one of them is above Komomai. At the top of Komomai, up above the ridge, it must be pretty well up towards the mountain, because if you look at it and it's 360 degree, you don't see any houses, but you see where they put the cameras are on their power lines. Because remember, that was the start of the wildfire on Maui. So what they've done is put cameras on the wilderness areas that they do have electric lines on, and above Pro City is one of them. So hope that answers your question. And that's all I have.
Okay, thank you very much. And just to let you know that I did receive a acknowledgement from the director, the city director of budget, gave approval for the Sunset Memorial Cemetery nonprofit to proceed forward with the revitalization of cemetery as of 1 October.
Great. And that was
$125,000,
right?
followed by the state 150.
Right.
So,
Good news.
So you'll be seeing the updates as we go along.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Board members, any questions for our representative? Okay, seeing none. Okay, thank you. Okay, moving on, Representative Corey Chen, and welcome.
Hi, I'm Dustin. I'm Representative Chun's office manager. He apologizes he can't be here tonight. But the only thing, because it came up, Representative Chun wrote a little bit about the traffic issues that we're seeing this year, certainly as it compares to last year, and hopefully we can all be a little bit safer on the road. Otherwise, I can just bring back any questions you guys might have.
Okay, board members, any questions? Seeing none. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Okay, moving along, Representative Trish LaChica, welcome.
Aloha Chair Vare, members of the board and neighbors. Tosa Lobundan here, office manager for Representative LaChica, who unfortunately couldn't join us because she's currently with the House Speaker Nakamura in Taiwan, along with the Hawaii-Taiwan delegation. However, she sends her warmest aloha for tonight's meeting. I did drop some links in the chat as well as my email. So the first link is our August-September newsletter, as well as the bit.ly to our District 37 survey. As I mentioned last month, the survey will be used to help guide our work for the upcoming 2026 legislative session, and we look forward to your response. We also have an exciting update. In July, we shared the agrivoltaic site visit we had, and now we've scheduled it for the community. As I previously mentioned, the tour will be held at the Hawaii Agrivoltaic Research Site at Clearways Mililani Solar Farm, where crops and solar panels grow side by side. This innovative project is helping Hawaii lead the way in clean energy and sustainable agriculture. The tour will be on October 1st, so next week, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. Space is limited. We do have about 3 or 4 spots left. So if you would like to join, please call our office at 808-586-6150, or you can email me at the email in the chat. Finally, on behalf of Office of Representative Trish LaChica, we would like to formally invite everyone to this year's Philly Rooted Festival 2025, a pilot event celebrating Filipino history, heritage, and culture for Filipino American History Month in October. There will be 5 separate events happening at the Capitol Modern for the Philly Rooted Festival. However, we encourage you to take a look at your local newspaper to get a full list of all the events in your community to celebrate the important living legacy Filipinos have in Hawaii. To learn more and reserve your free tickets to see Ruby Ibarra, winner of the 2025 Tiny Desk Award, live and in person on October 25th, please visit phillyrooted.com. Tickets are going fast. Don't miss out. I'm happy to take back any questions or concerns for the community. Our office is always open to hear from you. Mahalo for your time tonight, and we look forward to hopefully seeing you at the tour, and if not, at the Philly Rooted Festival.
Okay, Tosa, thank you very much. Board members, any questions? Seeing none? Thank you. Okay, moving on. I don't know if Nestor Garcia is online. We don't see him. Okay, moving on. Joint Base Pearl Harbor, Ms. Chris Tanahara. And welcome.
Good morning. Sorry, good evening, sorry. Sorry, I'm having a little bit of some issues right now. Can you see me?
Yeah, we got.
Okay,
Hear
great.
you good.
Terrific. So just a few updates for us. I did send you the board report as well as 2 newsletters and a flyer for an upcoming webinar. But I'll just focus on some of the highlights. So on September 3rd, the Navy, working with the Pearl Harbor Memorial, began work to remove 2 mooring platforms from the hull of the USS Arizona. That work is ongoing and is moving along as planned. Secondly, we are still doing monthly ship tours. So these are the tours every Saturday from about 9 o'clock to 11, and we take small groups aboard ships that are docked at Pearl Harbor. And then lastly, we have our community white boat tour scheduled for October the 10th. So this is the tour that leaves from the Packed Fleet Boathouse. We sail around Pearl Harbor and then stop at the Arizona Memorial. And the tour is narrated by our historian. And so anyone who has not been, please reach out. It's a really nice opportunity to learn a little bit about Pearl Harbor history and also to see the memorial and learn about, the Arizona, why and how that was constructed. And with that, if there aren't any questions, I will turn it over to Joanna from Navy Closure Task Force Red Hill.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. So just a couple of updates for Navy Closure Task Force Red Hill. As Chris previously mentioned, the informational webinar, Navy Closure Task Force will be hosting our webinar tomorrow online from 5 to 6 p.m. On Teams. You can visit the Navy Closure Task Force website at navyclosuretaskforce.navy.mil or visit the mobile app on your Apple or Google devices. You have that there available for you for any upcoming events and information, as well as our new operational dashboard where you can track tank cleaning operations as well as pipeline cleaning and removal operations. With that, I can go ahead and take any questions.
Okay, thank you. Board members, any questions for the Navy? Okay, seeing none, thank both of you. Okay, moving on to Chancellor Carlos Penaloza. Welcome.
Aloha, Chair Vare, members of the board, members of the community. Very brief updates. Leeward Community College is planning its next Discovery Fair event, which will happen on November 1st, so that you have it on your calendars. It's going to be exciting like every other Discovery Fair. I do want to share that over the last 2 weeks, we have received certain terminations on federal grants that impact some of the programs that we have at Leeward. University of Hawaii President Hensel has been working with university leadership on ways to find stopgaps on programs that are being stopped by these executive orders and changes to federal grant programs that we've been benefiting from for a couple decades. And then lastly, it's a really busy time for us right now. We are actually hosting the ACCJC, our accrediting body, for a site visit. And that will happen starting tomorrow through the rest of the week. We think that we'll do relatively well, but it's a very exciting time just because we have to share on all our compliance matters as well as everything that we do well. And so the full college community is behind this. I'll pause here and stop for any questions that you may have.
Okay, thank you, Chancellor. Hey, just to ask you a question there, were you offered a position for Chancellor for University West Oahu?
Yes, that announcement did go out. President Hensel is recommending my appointment as interim chancellor at UH West Oahu. And that appointment is going to the Board of Regents at its October meeting. I'm happy to share a lot more after that appointment is official that way.
Well, if you want my no vote, it's ready to go. All right, board members, any question for our Chancellor? Go ahead.
Yeah, the Megabond event was really was great. Only problem is they need more of the I'm forgetting the name, the donut vendors.
I appreciate those of you that were able to join us. Member Dan Smith, I did bump into you, and it was a wonderful event, really well attended. I'm waiting for numbers on the number of participants that came through, but it was an exciting time at Leeward, being able to have a major community event in our backyards.
Go ahead.
Hey, Carlos. Yeah, well, congratulations on your future job. And that was going to lead to my next question. Seeing as I've talked to some West Side university students who have to make the trek all the way to Manoa, What is the outlook, the future outlook for the University of Oahu, University of Hawaii West Oahu campus? Is it going to be expanded to the point where it's almost like a one-to-one with the University of Hawaii at Manoa?
I think it's a little bit early to say. I do want to make one clarification just in case there's confusion. My interim appointment at West Oahu doesn't impact that I am still the permanent chancellor at Leeward Community College. That said, as far as the future for both UH West Oahu and Leeward, that's why President Hensel is recommending my appointment, for us to explore the possibilities. We do not want to be competitors. UH Manoa as an R1 university is their mission is a little bit different. We're looking more at a more comprehensive regional approach where students will be able to access everything from short-term credentials right through baccalaureates within our service area. And so we see it expanding, but not necessarily going to the graduate level, and providing more opportunities to fulfill a lot of the local workforce needs. But there's this exploratory period with my interim appointment at UH West Oahu will allow us to have more conversations with our community, with workforce stakeholders, with the students to develop a stronger vision to what it will all look like in the future.
Yeah, and I say that because I think there are a lot of, future graduates who would just like to the run to Manoa and have something closer to them where they wouldn't have to, get up as early and make that 1 hour, 2 hour run to Manoa, where if it was in their backyard, especially for the West Oahu residents, it would be a feather in you guys' cap. And on the other hand, I cannot see why, two cannot exist.
Okay, don't see any other questions. Chancellor, thank you so much and your patience for waiting to give us your report, and thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, moving on to Ms. Vicky Bowie. Hello, Vicky.
Hello, everybody. So I'm just gonna give a very brief report. So we're gonna do a special film screening called Shikata Ganai, and that's through the Nissan Veterans Group. It's not just a film screening, but it's also an opportunity to meet the cast and crew. So that's going to be on Sunday, October 5th at 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. And it's, of course, inspired by the 442nd veterans and their experiences. And we're also going to have some health and wellness programs for seniors. We're bringing back Beginning Tai Chi in October. That will be on October 8th and on October 22nd at 9:30 in the morning. We're also going to have chair yoga on October 6th at 4 p.m. with limited registration. If you're interested in any more of our programs, you can pick up a program calendar at our library, or you can check out our website, www.librarieshawaii.org. Thank you.
All right, Vicky, thank you. My blood is boiling. Yeah, sorry for the noise in the background. All right, Vicky, thank you so much. And you're still looking for that alternate place while the renovation is going to occur for Pearl City Library, correct?
Yeah, they're still working on that. I'm not really sure where it's going to be yet, although I've heard some rumors, but I don't want to say anything publicly until I know for
Board
sure.
members, okay, got a question for you.
Hi, Vicky.
Yes.
For that program, Shikata Ganai and the 442nd and the 100th Battalion.
Yes.
Let's see, is somehow Kathleen or Kathy Hayashi involved?
Oh.
She's a
I'd
big,
have to get back to you on that. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I only know I don't know that the director. I know some of the cast. Unless she's involved with the Nisei Veterans Group, I wouldn't know for sure if she's part of that.
I see. Yeah. Because I guess they have a clubhouse, right across by Iolani School, the 442. And she's a extreme proponent and support person for that. Just wondering.
It's possible that she was involved in this project, but I'm not really sure how. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Rodney.
Hi, Vicky, thanks. Recently, I was watching the NHK channel, and it was the anniversary of the 80th bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. And they also had some films that was the Battle of Saipan. And it was very enlightening and also kind of disturbing. So I don't know if you can get in touch with some of those programs, but it would be, I think it would be very informative to see in actuality what the Nisei soldiers were and the Japanese soldiers were thinking at the time of those wars.
Okay, thank you.
I'll think about that. Yeah, if we can have if we have an opportunity to show it, then we will.
Yeah, and Vicky, with the renovation of the new Pearl City Library, I wanted to ask you if you could be thinking to keep an area wall space open to put a large display case for the Pearl City Neighborhood Board, so we could post photos and items for the public, as well as the Pearl City Lions Club. There's a lot of
In our
activities out of the
pop-up?
Lions. What's say
Do you
again?
mean in our pop-up location?
Yes, your new one that you come up
I
with.
have to see if it's possible. I'm not really sure what the space is going to look like yet. So until then, I can't make any promises, but I'll consider what your request is.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll look into
Any
it.
other questions?
We'll take the outside wall.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Vicky. Moving on. Arlen,
welcome.
what you got for water breaks?
Good evening, board. Good evening, board members. Can you hear me?
I got you good, Arlen.
Okay. There were 7 water main breaks in Pearl City last month, August 1st. Breaks occurred near 2459 Almakua Street and 98-1434 Ka'ahumanu Street. August 8th, a break occurred near 1245 Ho'olaulea Street. August 18th, a break occurred near 98-437 Ho'omailani Street. On August 22nd, a break occurred near 2138 Almakua Street. And on August 27th and 28th, breaks occurred near 2103 Apa'akuma Place. There's no general water announcement this month, but we just had Imagine a Day Without Water this past weekend. And just some reminders: when a water main break occurs, the Board of Water Supply's top priority is to protect public health and safety while minimizing water loss and impact to the public. Repairs are often complex and require considerable care and time. Our crews work to restore service as quickly as possible. If you have a service-related emergency, you can give us a call at 808-748-5000 to reach dispatch, and that's available 24/7. Any other inquiries related to service, you can call us at 808-748-5030 on weekdays, Monday through Friday, except on city holidays, 7:45 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Or you can email customerservice@hbws.org. If you have general questions or comments, you can contact our communications office at 748-5041 or email contact us at hbws.org. And that's the end of my report.
Okay, and Arlen, if you could give feedback to the road repair. You guys have been doing an outstanding job with immediately fixing the repairs and also be doing quick asphalt paving. But there is one particular paving that is totally unsatisfactory. It's Buckled the Road. It's on Hoheke Street. That's Hooheke Street. And it's just south of Hooia Street, If you could have them look into that. Appreciate it. Any questions, board?
Okay,
Go
will
ahead,
do.
Rodney.
Hey, Arlen, thanks for doing it.
Hello.
I gotta push you on this one, brother. In light of what's going on in the outside islands with the drought conditions going on. What is the status of the desalinization plant in Cambo Industrial Park? And, with the amount of housing and the drought situations, and we can all agree that, if there's no rain, there's no water. So I think it's time that the Board of Water Supply starts sticking their straw into that big blue they call the Pacific Ocean.
Yes, I can give you an update on Kalaeloa desalination. The project is still in design and permitting stage right now. We expect construction to begin in early 26, barring any unforeseen circumstances.
Yeah, that rascal has been there since I started working, Campbell, since 1990. So, permitting, we got to get with the department and get those buggers online because, like I said, if there's no rain, there is no water. And, the people of Maui lost the big one with the PGA tournament. So I think, maybe you guys got to lead the charge and start sticking that straw in the ocean and sucking some of that stuff out.
Okay. Arlen, thank you very much. We'll see you next month.
Larry.
Yeah,
Thank
go
you.
ahead. I'm sorry, I missed you. Go ahead.
Rodney, interestingly, I asked Arlen that same question this past week. And, once they get it up and running, it's only going to produce about 1 million gallons a day. And then in its greatest capacity, they hope that it'll produce as much as 5 million a day. So I asked Arlen, well, what is the Oahu consumption per day? It's 145 million per day. So 1 million, 5 million, I don't know. But Arlen, importantly, the leak right above Children's House on Komomai Drive? Yeah, it has a leak for several days now. So what did they do different?
That's the one
I guess
that needed a special tool to access. It was the coupling was leaking in the meter box.
Oh, great job. Thank you very much.
That's first heard for the board that it got fixed. Thank you. Okay, we got to move on, guys. Thank you, Arlen. We're going to move on to associations. Tony, got any updates for Pearl City community events?
Yeah, just there's a water truck event this Friday from 4 to 8 at the Pearl City High School. So if you're interested, well, head on there and get some food and support the Pearl City High and the Project Grad. That's
Okay,
it. Yeah.
and also there's a Pacific Palisades
Oh,
elementary
yeah,
school
yes.
event.
Forgot
Can
about
you talk
that
about that one?
Yeah. It's this Friday from 2 to 7 at the Palisades Elementary School for the children. They have a fair there also. So Friday. That's it, Chair.
Okay, thank you, Tony. Thanks for the update. Okay, moving on, the last item on the agenda. Everybody received the board minutes. Heidi has one change. The Nagasone Center was spelled incorrectly. We'll get that corrected, amended. Are there any other corrections? Hearing none. Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes after that minute? Okay, Heidi first
Second.
and Guy second. Okay, if there are no objections, we'll consider the minutes approved. Are there any objections? Okay, none. Okay. Right. All right, other than that, the Pearl City Neighborhood Board 21 next board meeting will be hybrid on WebEx, and it will be here at the Momalani Community Center on Tuesday, October 28th at 7 o'clock. Pearl City Neighborhood Board 21 meeting is broadcast on Focus 49 and air on the second Saturday, 6 p.m., first and third Friday at 1 p.m. Other than that, board members, thank you very much for your engagement. Most of all, thank you for being in person. You can see when you're in person, you get a little better engagement dealing. But Guy, congratulations again to you, 10 years. And our vice chair, eventually I'm going to recognize her we pushed it. But she couldn't make it tonight. You all have a great week and thank you. This meeting is now adjourned.